na maisena e o leite. Ele não botou coco, né? Porque ele colocou aqui não. Acompanhar com aquele prato. Agora isso aqui é o que ele estava fazendo.
And a dish of okra and honey for Xangô, so that he will be merciful and good to his son.
Ao filho que deita, Xangô dá uma misericórdia para o seu filho, então tem que levar.
With his offerings in place, the next phase of José Carlos's initiation, the deitada, was about to begin. The next 7 days would be spent by the initiate in ritual seclusion. When asked how it had been determined how long he would have to remain secluded in what is called the PJ, José Carlos responded,
"It is the buzios that tell us that, the mother or father of our head that tell us that through the buzios. A special day was set aside for me, on which I came to the center dressed in white, wearing the guias and those of Oxalá. I took special herbal baths. Donna Maria then read the buzios. She was told by the spirits what offerings I would have to make and how many days I must spend in seclusion."
Most large Umbanda centers have special rooms used exclusively for ritual seclusions. In poor centers like the Casa de Vovó Rita, which is but a single room at the back of Dona Maria's house, improvisation is necessary. Dona Maria and Dona Edna hung a curtain to separate off a PJ, the space to which José Carlos and his offerings would be confined. Regular activities then would be conducted in the remaining space.
You saw it. There was just room for my sleeping mat here, and the rest of the whole area was taken up by the offerings. The amount of food prepared, it was difficult to believe that all of that was mine. But Oxalá is a good father, and so is Xangô, and Iemanjá is a good mother. And, supported by a person as wonderful as this daughter of Oxum, Dona Maria, it was a dream come true.
Foi sonho que tornou-se realidade. E a presença do Dr. Sidney, Dona Ed, Dona Helena aqui foi uma satisfação ainda maior.
When asked what one does when in seclusion, José Carlos said,
"We remain quiet, sometimes in communication with the deities. Prayer is never neglected."
Do you have special ritual things to do or say?
No, we just wait to see what the spirit beings wish. We lie down or sit. It's a kind of meditation.
Did you feel close to the spirits?
Sim, nós tivemos, eu.
Yes, I felt close to the whole group or line that corresponds with my ori, or crown, from the moment I entered the PJ. They come to receive the offerings. I felt the presence of Iemanjá, my head mother. She was very strong. At midnight, she took me on a journey to her home in the sea. All of my spirits were there, from Xangô, the father of my head, down to Ishu, their servant, who is my guardian. I had visions and learned many things that I can't really express. Iemanjá took me to see all of her kingdom. I felt completely accepted by my mother Iemanjá. I also had other visions on other days. On the third day, I received messages from my guardian spirits and from each of my Orixás. I was authorized to reveal only the one from Iemanjá. The others are private and can only be talked about with the spirits.
No caso, são coisas que nem tudo a gente pode se expressar.
On the Wednesday of the week José Carlos spent in seclusion, Dona Maria went to the local cemetery, where she performed a short ritual on his behalf. Then on Sunday morning, January 11th, one of the hottest days of the year, José Carlos came out of seclusion to complete the initiation. When asked how he felt, he answered,
O final dos 7 dias.
At the end, My 7th day, I was comfortable here in the Peji, but it was very hot, well over 100 degrees. It was the hottest time of the year. You know that electrical things are not permitted in the Peji, but we asked a special petition that Jango permit that we use a small fan. The heat was incredible. The herbal baths also helped. On the last day, when I saw all the people starting to arrive, I again had that feeling of a dream come true. I felt it twice, once when I went in, and once again when I came out. And for 30 more days I will sleep here in the Peji, going from my house to the Peji, and from the Peji to my house. I will sleep on the straw mat for 3 months, and in white clothing. My coming out at the end of the 7th day of seclusion was done with complete sincerity, a step ahead, and a beautiful one.
It was probably close to 110 degrees Fahrenheit in the Tejero when the celebration marking José Carlos' coming out began. Dressed in white satin, in clothes made especially for the occasion, and wearing the guias of his primary spirits, José Carlos welcomed the many guests who had come to pay tribute to him. In addition to Dona Maria, Edna, and Janete, most of the other saint sons and daughters, the mediums in training at the Casa de Vovó Rita, came, some having traveled several hours or more from their homes in distant parts of the metropolitan area. The daughter of the woman who had raised José Carlos also was there, accompanied by her husband, as were several heads of other Umbanda centers, one of whom presented José Carlos with statues of Iemanjá and Xangô, the mother and father of his head. Again, the ceremony began with the purification of the Tejero and those in it by incense. Next, everyone was given flowers, and rose petals were scattered for cleansing. After the Tejero had been crossed, an invocation to Oxalá was sung, asking his protection. Followed by the hymn to Oxalá. One more. Oxalá, my father. He's the son of the Virgin Mary. And the star in the east, the morning star, is our guide. The star is our guide. The star is our guide. And Ogun, which is St. George, is our company. Oshala, my father, is the son of the Virgin Mary. Oshala, my father, is the son of the Virgin Maria. The morning star is our guide. The morning star is our guide. The star is our guide. The star is our guide. And Ogun, St. George, is our company, our companion. And Ogun, St. George, is our companion. Then, as a white canopy was raised and a ponto was sung in her honor, Yemanja descended to bless her son.
Here, vou voltar para lá, tá?
Someone has received Yemanja behind José Carlos. And this lady has received Yemanja. Yemanja is present at José's ceremony. When she departed, José Carlos went into the bedroom to change his clothes. A few moments later, he came out, wearing the brown of Shango, or St. Jerome, with a white shawl over his shoulders. The Orixás saint descended, incorporating in his son. And with his copper crown on his head, and grasping the axe, symbol of his power, he danced. He then greeted the participants and took his leave. As the others continued singing pontos to Shango, José Carlos, still under the canopy, returned to the bedroom to change clothes once more. And moments later, to the singing and dancing of the popular Dançar Nago, he returned in the sparkling white and silver of Ogun, St. George, wearing a helmet and carrying his sword. The Orixás saint incorporated to greet and bless everyone. Dona Maria cleansed him with tobacco smoke and removed his sword and helmet. He then embraced the Saint Mother and was ready to depart. José Carlos, still under the canopy, went to change again. This time, he returned, ready for Giramundo, his caboclo. While the others continued to sing and dance, Giramundo incorporated in José Carlos. Dona Maria tied the headdress on his head and after accepting his greeting, removed the guias of his Orixás and placed them on the altar. And replaced them with Giramundo's own guia. She lit a cigar for the caboclo, who greeted her again and danced. Here a ponto was sung to Oxóssi, Giramundo's superior in the spirit hierarchy. The caboclo then danced and blessed the other mediums. Some received their own caboclos, who also danced with him and greeted mediums both in and out of trance. Before leaving, Giramundo thanked everyone for coming to honor his horse. After Dona Maria had removed the headdress, he departed, to be followed shortly by the other caboclos. Once again under the canopy, José Carlos went to the room to change. He returned dressed in white as Pedrinho, his crianza, who then arrived and began to play. And to throw jelly beans. Soon Edna's crianza joined him and also began to frolic. The children, as usual, were reluctant to leave. They only did so after some coaxing by the Saint Mother. First, however, Edna's child had to show everyone how she swims. Although the singing and drumming continued, the ceremony was now over. The spirits had informed the Saint Mother that the festivity should stop. Their horse was close to exhaustion due to the extreme heat and humidity, and they were worried that further activity might cause permanent damage to his health. They were more than satisfied with his performance. The assembled guests, they added, could now congratulate the new Zelador, which they did. They also embraced each other, reaffirming their attachment to the center, to their religion, and to the new Zelador. Now that the spirits had been fed and cared for, and the sacred ceremony was over, it was time for the secular celebration. The new Zelador and his well-wishers would nourish themselves from the meat of the animals sacrificed but not offered to the spirits, and from other foods customarily enjoyed on festive occasions in Brazil.
José Carlos's initiation was over. He had completed successfully the third of the 5 obrigações, or offerings, he will make along the path he has chosen. He had prepared and dressed in the ritual clothing of his spirit guides, and had shown them, when they came to and incorporated in him, that he could serve them as an able horse. With the help of Dona Maria, the Saint Mother of the Casa de Vovó Rita, Edna, Janete, and the others, he had demonstrated his willingness to serve them and his ability to prepare their favorite foods, their flowers, and everything else they wish. He had shown that he could take care of them, that he could be their Zelador. Xangô, Imanjá, Ogum, Giramundo, Tranca-Rua, and his other spirits had come to him during the ceremony. They taught him and communicated both to him and to the Saint Mother their satisfaction with his performance.
At the beginning, I was a little insecure. I was concerned as to whether everything was exactly right. I knew that the offerings were complete, but you always feel a little doubt. Is everything okay, you ask? My concentration was really positive and firm, but there are always doubts. Every obligation completed satisfactorily has within it the permission to be able to celebrate the following one. There are still many steps ahead of me, many steps. But after 8 years in the life of the Spirit, I feel that I have a certain small foundation, a base, that I have learned from my Saint Mother and from Orixás. I feel humble, but at home in the law of the saints. That part of me, which supports me spiritually, has learned enough to tell me what I should and should not do. I feel more secure now after having satisfied the Saint Mother and the Orixás that I am worthy of reaching the level of Zelador.
Aí eu capitão da encruzilhada, aí eu o drenancha de ogro. Aí eu capitão da encruzilhada, aí eu o drenancha de ogro. Minha de brija quem me deu foi Antônio. Minha coroa quem me deu foi Ombro. Chove o chão, chove a estrela e chove a lua. Charavra eu trancaroa, que o trono da gira do meio da rua. Chove o chão, chove a estrela e chove